Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to discuss the changes I made to my 2014 Chevy Caprice PPV to convert it from a car that would accept blade keys and transponder chips from FOBs configured with RPO code 6E3 keys common to a car that only accepts a unique blade key cut and 2 unique transponder chips. When I purchased my 2014 Chevy Caprice PPV, I was only provided one key fob. That key works in all of the lock cylinders, and the transponder chip in the fob was recognized by the car's immobilizer system, but the fob was not functional. I started my diagnosis of the non-functional fob by checking the battery in the fob. It was producing around 3.1 volts, so I replaced it to make sure the fob problem was not battery related. The fob still didn't work with my car. I confirmed the fob was transmitting by using my Autel TS601 scan tool, which has a test module to show signal strength when you press buttons on a key fob. The fob appeared to be functional. I examined the fob antenna in the rear window of the car and I found a break in the antenna material. I searched for a product specific to fob antennas, but I didn't find one. I did find a few related to fixing defroster grid lines. Those defroster grid line fix products have you tape off a section where the break is present, and then you paint in a thin coating of the supplied material in that area where the break is present. You let that cure for a few minutes, and then you remove the tape, and then turn on the defroster to flash cure the material with the heat from the defroster. The defroster fix material has silver in it to establish connectivity between the two sections of the grid line. I read some posts where people had used the same type of product to repair fob or radio antennas with breaks in the antenna. After applying the material to the break in the fob antenna, I removed the tape and then parked the car with the sun shining on the rear window to be the heat source for the flash curing of the material. I tried the fob that afternoon and still no luck getting it to work. Using my Autel MaxiSys MS906 scan tool, I checked the body control module immobilizer live data display. It showed that it had 8 fob IDs in the system, but apparently the fob that I had was not one of them. I had a fob issue to solve and a more immediate problem of the lock cylinders to solve. The reason the lock cylinders were a problem, in my opinion, was due to the fact that my 2014 Chevy Caprice PPV was equipped with RPO code 6E3 keys common. This RPO code means the lock cylinders on my car are keyed to accept the same blade key that any other 2014 to 17 Caprice PPV that had RPO code 6E3. That also means they can not only get into my car, but they can also start it and drive it off as well. The transponder chip for the 6E3 fobs are the same. That's the entire point of the 6E3, and then there's a variant called 6E4 RPO codes, is to have a fleet key and transponder chips so that you can use the same key in any vehicle in that fleet that has the same 6E3 or 6E4 RPO code. That doesn't mean the fob transmitter will work with all vehicles in the fleet, but you can at least use the blade key and start and run the car with that key. I obtained a new trunk lid from a 2017 Chevy Caprice PPV to start working on my project to add a backup camera to my car. I was able to get the trunk lid and the door lock cylinders along with the ignition lock cylinder for a very good price, along with the fob that was working with that 2017 Caprice PPV. When I arrived home, I checked the spit sticker on the trunk lid I had just purchased and noticed it too had the 6E3 RPO code. The newly acquired fob from the 2017 Caprice PPV worked in all of my car's lock cylinders, so the blade key was the same as the one I already had, and I was able to start and run my car with the key and the fob's transponder chip in the newly acquired fob. The 2017 Caprice PPV was from a totally different police agency according to the wrecking yard, but since it had the same RPO code of 6E3, it still worked in my car. I had a locksmith rekey all the lock cylinders in my car. This was the first change to better secure my car. At least nobody with a 6E3 blade key could unlock my car and then start the engine. The next issue was to get my car to only process fob lock, unlock, trunk open, or remote start requests from fobs that I own. The 2014 Police Technical Guide has a section that talks about keys and transmitters. There are 2 master fobs, cut and uncut blade keys, and then another fob for fleet. I attempted to order fobs with part number 13585687, and I supplied my car's VIN to the online GM parts seller. They canceled the order stating the fob was not compatible with that VIN. After we had a discussion on the phone, I just submitted the same order without supplying the VIN so they would process the order for the fobs. It took a few weeks to get the new fobs. I was able to get the locksmith to come out to program the body control module. He cut the blade keys to match the updated lock cylinder config he set up during his previous visit. He was also able to get the body control module to forget all of the 8 FOBs and transponder chips he had knew of, and then he successfully programmed the 2 new FOBs. I finally have functional FOBs: lock, unlock, trunk open, remote start, except the panic button does not activate the panic alarm. Another section of the 2014 Police Technical Guide shows the panic button would not be functional for RPO code AMF, which is a package of 6 FOBs, and that appears to be true for my car as well. I'm not all that upset when the panic alarm doesn't work as long as the other ones work, and they do. Here's the new fob, one of the new fobs with the new blade key, and I'm proving that the remote does work. There's the unlock, lock, double lock, beep. I press the trunk lid, and if I do lock and then remote start, now it works. Then you can turn off remote start by pressing it again. The other part number related item is that I ordered part number 13585687, but when I opened the bag containing the fobs, the part number listed on the side of the fob was 13585404, not 13585687. Part number 13585404 is the other master fob part number that is listed in the 2014 technical guide, but it was to have a random pre-cut blade key. It appears that part number 13585687 is simply a part number to indicate that it comes with a blank blade key, but the same fob is used as part number 13585404. Hopefully the information in this video helps you see the fact that a fleet configured vehicle does have some security issues, and I decided to address those in my vehicle. Maybe my paranoia, but I wanted to make sure that my vehicle only responded to the fobs that I had in my possession, and also that the blade key worked with my vehicle alone. It wasn't a fleet blade key, so I want to make sure my car was as secure as possible. If you found the info in this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, and hit that bell notification to be notified when I upload new videos to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. That works.